What's up, guys? Barbarian Bust here, and let's go over the patch notes. So some things we already know about, like the bash changes, battle bash. We already know that flay is going to be even better as its duration gets increased, and that combat flay is also getting a buff. That's amazing. All right, combat lunging strike. Another increase. Berserking duration increases from 1.5 to 3 seconds. Amazing. Rend. Damage increased by 10%. Amazing. Violent Rend. Vulnerable damage increased from 25 to 30. Oh, I have to start. I have to start with Rend now. I want to. Furious Rend. Fury gained increased from 4 to 5, and maximum fury gained from 20 to 25. Okay, that's awesome. That is actually really good. This is wicked. I think I'm going to start with Rend because I love it. Hammer of the Ancients increased by 10%. Okay, that's a good start. Furious Hammer of the Ancients. They've changed it again. So previously it sucked, where Hammer of the Ancients gains 2% critical strike chance for every 10 fury you had. Now, Hammer of the Ancients gains 2% critical strike chance for every 10 fury you had when cast. Its critical strikes knock down enemies for 1.5 seconds. No, it sucks, really. There might be some good ways to use that, but it's still not going to be worth it considering Violent Hammer of the Ancients bonus is increased from 30 to 40%. So because of that, if you take Hammer of the Ancients, you're always going to take Violent Hammer of the Ancients. Okay, moving on to Upheaval. Damage increased by 15%. Okay. Enhanced Upheaval. Stun chance up to 35%. That's massive. Stun duration also now to 3 seconds. That is amazing. And Violent Upheaval. Base Berserking duration increased 2 to 3 seconds. Bonus duration increased from 3 to 5 seconds. I wanted to do a mono upheaval build in Season 4. It looks like we should be able to do a mono upheaval build in Season 5. That's looking pretty good. That's looking pretty good. Tactical Ground Stomp, no one really played. More Fury. Enhanced Iron Skin, your barrier amount increases to 20-25% max life. That's good. Tactical Challenging Shout change. You now get Fury gain 3 to 6. That's huge. Tactical Challenging Shout was already great, and now they just made it even better. So that's going to be a great source of Fury. That's crazy. Not too many people use Kick. Charge cooldown reduced from 13 to 9 seconds. So that's good, but I still can't see a lot of people using Kick for that. Okay, and passives. So we knew about the Endless Fury passive, how that was getting a buff, which is already amazing and honestly not needed. We knew we were getting a nerf to Imposing Presence. Now it's down to 5, 10, 15. Thick Skin. So now we're going to get an increase in our Fortify. So they want us to use Fortify now more of the time. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I like that. Concussion. Duration reduced from 3 to 2 seconds. Not a crazy loss. I think that's okay. We know Unconstrained is getting gutted. 75% down to 35. That's awful. Unbridled Rage, now you'll never take because your bonus damage is reduced from 100 to 45%. Double the amount of Fury cost for only 45%. That's awful. You might as well take Unconstrained and get your flat 35% versus the 45. Walking Arsenal bonus. We knew this was also getting a nerf. 12% down to 8, and then the bonus damage is cut in half to 10, and then the attack speed is also cut in half to 10. So Walking Arsenal might have been saved if they didn't nerf it, but now still no one will probably take it. I usually like to try to see if I can make it work, but I don't think that will be possible. Gushing Wounds. So they finally got it to work in Season 4 as it was an additive bonus in Season 1, 2, 3, and in preseason. They actually got it to work correctly, and it has said this. The only thing that's changed with Gushing Wounds is they changed the bleed amount. It used to be 110. They changed it to 140, but it was never multiplicative. So now that it works correctly, it's great. But now, when causing an enemy to bleed, you have a chance equal to your critical strike chance to increase the bleed amount by 70% X, then 100% plus your critical strike damage. Basically, you can't scale it anymore. Well, you can scale it, but not like you used to be able to. It's still going to be okay. It'll still be great for bleed, but it won't be ridiculous for bleed, shall we say. Overpowering a bleeding enemy creates an explosion that inflicts 120% bleeding damage over 5 seconds. That's always been amazing. That's going to scale great with Fields of Crimson. I'm very excited to try that. And we did know that the Wanton's Rupture aspect was going to get a crazy buff. That is amazing to see. And we did know that Grasping Whirlwind is now going to pull targets in 3 times as fast. That will be now a great aspect for Whirlwind, in my opinion. Sundering Ground. This was clutch for an upheaval build. So what's it say now? So previous, every 25 seconds, your next upheaval cast is guaranteed to overpower to deal 10 to 25% increased damage. Timer is reduced by 4 seconds when upheaval overpowers a boss or an elite. Every 20 seconds now, your upheaval is guaranteed to overpower to deal 15 to 30% mild damage buff. Critical strikes with upheaval against elites reduce the damage by 1 second. Reduce the timer by 1 second. That actually might not be bad. You get a high crit. Yeah, I think that's pretty decent actually. I'm gonna try to do another upheaval for season 5, Ancestral Force. So if anyone who watched the live stream, they would have saw that this got changed. Hammer of the Ancients quakes outward 2 to 17. Now it quakes outward for 5 to 20. And this bonus is doubled against bosses. That's cool. You deal 40% to bosses, or you put on a 2-hander and you'll deal 80% to bosses. Will this be enough to make Hammer of the Ancients viable with the 40x damage? So the Gores is probably, I don't know if that's still going to be useful. I don't think it will. We know the Hemorrhage node got gutted, which is absolutely awful. So that feels really bad. The Weapon Mastery is really nice, where that gets an increase. The Blood Feeder glyph might now be worth it with the 10% and with the damage to bleeding. Dominate glyph is amazing. Now it's every 20 seconds, so I really like how they're trying to increase how much you overpower, but still the amount that you can overpower is still limiting. And the Executioner glyph got a buff. Oh my gosh, from 10 to 15. So Polar meta for Season 5 is real. We did know that the Bash Cleave was going to be gutted, and it did for obvious reasons, but there's a unique that will bring that back up. The Barbarian Protection Manual has been removed. That is awful. Flay Duration moved from utility to the bleed augments. That actually still sucks because now you have 5 things that you could get for a temper. So now there's a 20% chance to get 1 of each. I think this is the only manual in the game that has 5. A lot of them have 3, some of them have 4. The bleed augments having 5 is garbage. Take off Expose Vulnerability. Take off something to make bleed augments a little bit better. But I think the Flay Duration, if you put it on utility, it can still be overpowered. If you put it on the weapons, it is already overpowered. I'm not sure what's the best way to fix that. Okay, another good thing here is now Tormented Bosses are going to be worth it. Tormented Bosses now drop 5 times this amount of boss materials. That's amazing. This is something that should have happened in Season 4. Happening Season 5, that's great. All Tormented Boss have 5 chances to drop a Mythic at 1.5% chance each, for a total of 7.5% chance to drop. That's pretty cool. The boss will have a chance to drop multiple Mythic. Yeah, okay. So now it could, in theory, drop multiple, but that would be quite rare. That'd be really cool. That'd be really cool. And this is wicked. That now it only takes 1 stone instead of 2, because 2 stones just sucks. So that is pretty much all the changes for the Barbarian and a couple changes for the Tormented Bosses. We know that Helltide is going to have some mild tweaks, like Mind Cage is staying, which is amazing. But other than that, there's not too many different changes. A couple different Bane Heart changes. That'd be about it. So I am looking forward to Season 5. I do like the changes that they've made to Barbarian. There's a couple that really hurt, like the key passives and things. But I think there's going to be some good ways to work around those things. I really, really do. So I'm looking forward to Tuesday, and I'm excited to make a couple builds, see what I can make, see what's going to be viable, see what's not viable. Yeah, I will see you guys all on Tuesday. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.